My mom wants to meet you. Honey, I said it slowly, watching your reaction, because those words are never small. They carry meaning beyond simple conversation. And the moment they left my lips, something shifted inside me again. Not fear exactly, but something close, something like awareness of what this means. Because meeting my mom is not casual, it's not random, it's not light, it's serious more than I admit. And I saw it in your eyes, that small pause, that silent reaction, not rejection, not excitement, just processing, just understanding, because you know what this means, even without asking, even without explaining. It means I see you differently now, not just someone who stays in my days, but someone who belongs in my life. And that thought feels beautiful, but also heavy at the same time, because bringing you into my world means opening doors I kept closed for a long time for many reasons, because my world is not simple, not always easy, not always soft. And I was protecting you without saying it, protecting us from complications, from expectations, from questions that come with family, that come with reality. But now something changed, something inside me, and I don't want to hide anymore. Not from you, not from them, because hiding something real doesn't keep it safe, it just delays truth. It just creates distance, and I don't want distance with you. Not now, not anymore. So I said it without overthinking. My mom wants to meet you, and now we're here in this moment where everything feels a little more real, a little more serious, a little more defined. And I don't know if I'm ready, but I know this. I want to try, because you matter more than my fear, more than my hesitation, more than my doubts. And that's new for me, because I don't let people in easily, not fully, not without thinking, but with you. It happened differently, slowly, quietly, without pressure, without forcing anything, without asking too much. And maybe that's why it feels so right, even when it's scary, even when it's big, because real things always feel like this, a mix of comfort and uncertainty, a mix of peace and nervous thoughts. And I'm standing here between both, trying to balance, trying to understand, because this isn't just about my mom, it's about us, about what we are and what we could be if we move forward. And I don't want to rush anything, not your feelings, not your decision, because this affects you too. More than I show, you're stepping into my world, into my reality, into my family. And that's not small, that's not easy. So I need to know what you feel, not what you say, but what you feel, because words are easy, feelings are not, and I don't want a forced yes. I don't want pressure between us. I want honesty, even if it scares me, even if it changes things, even if it slows us down, because real connections need real truth, not perfect moments, not fake certainty. And I'm ready to hear you. Whatever you say, whatever you feel, because this moment is important more than we admit, more than we planned. And I don't want to lose you, not because of fear, not because of silence. So I'm here right now telling you something real, something important. My mom wants to meet you. And maybe it's simple, maybe it's not. But for me, it means everything. It means I see you as part of my life, not temporary, not uncertain, but something real, something lasting. And that's not easy for me to say, but I said it because it's true. And now it's your turn to feel it, to understand it, to decide it. And whatever happens next, at least it's real. At least it's honest. At least it's us. At least it's us. At least it's real. And now this moment feels closer than ever. Not just words anymore, but something happening, because meeting my mom is not just a step, it's a shift, a turning point, and I can feel it in the air, that quiet tension, that silent weight, not heavy enough to break us, but enough to test us. And I look at you, waiting for your answer, not forcing, not expecting, just hoping you understand, because this decision is not small. It changes direction more than we think. And I see it in your eyes, that careful thinking, that honest pause, not fear, but awareness of what comes next. If you say yes, and for a second, everything feels still, like time stopped, just for us, waiting quietly for your words. I want to. You started softly, then paused again, choosing carefully, and that pause meant everything, because real answers take time. They don't rush, they don't pretend, they come slowly, but truthfully, I'm just nervous. You admitted gently, and I smiled slightly, not surprised at all, because I feel it too, more than I show. Nervous is okay, I said calmly, because it is completely normal. This isn't easy for anyone, not for you, not for me. But the fact you didn't say no, that matters. More than anything, I want to meet her. You finally said, and those words changed everything. Not loudly, but deeply, because now it's real, completely real. And I felt it, that quiet relief, not excitement, but something softer, something steady, something hopeful. Thank you, I whispered quietly, not just polite, but meaningful, because you chose to step forward despite the fear, despite the unknown, and that says something about you, about your courage, about your heart. And I respect that more than words, more than promises, more than moments. So we made a plan. Simple, calm, nothing too big, nothing overwhelming, just a meeting, just a moment. But we both knew it's more than that. It's connection, it's judgment, it's acceptance, or maybe questions. And I didn't want to scare you, but I also knew I couldn't hide it, because reality matters more than comfort. And I want this to be real, not perfect, but honest. The day came, quieter than expected. No loud thoughts, no big drama, just a calm feeling mixed with nerves. and I saw you standing there, trying to stay composed, trying to stay strong, and you looked beautiful in the simplest way, not just appearance, but presence, that quiet confidence, that soft strength. And I felt proud without saying it because you showed up even when nervous. And that means everything. To me, we walked together, not too fast, not too slow, just steady, like we were both finding balance between fear and hope, between doubt and trust. And then we arrived at my world, at the place I kept separate for a long time from everything else. And now you're here, right beside me. And that felt strange but right. I opened the door, taking a breath, not because of doubt, but because of reality. And she was there, waiting quietly. My mom watching us, not judging, not reacting immediately, just observing, just feeling. And I saw it, that look, not harsh, not cold, but careful, very careful, because she knows me better than anyone. She sees things others don't, and that made me a little nervous, more than I expected, more than I showed. But then she smiled, softly, gently, and that moment changed everything. Not dramatic, not loud, just simple, just warm. Welcome, she said calmly, and you smiled back, respectfully, softly, and I stood there, watching both two worlds meeting in one moment, and it felt real, more than anything, not perfect, not certain, but real enough to matter. And maybe that's enough for something like this, because not everything needs perfection. Some things just need a beginning, and maybe this is ours. Meeting family is never just a meeting, it's a step forward into something real. And maybe this time it truly is.